Welcome friends to another r/AmITheJerk video. There's gonna be some hard-hitting questions we've gotta ponder here, but the first one I got is could you hit the like and subscribe buttons down below? That said, our first story of the day is by Throw283-837-950. Am I the jerk for not giving my coworker that's a girl a ride home after closing? I, 17-year-old male, started working at a grocery store 4 to 5 months ago. I get along with my manager and coworkers and somewhat enjoy my job other than a few jerks that come in here and then. I work as a cashier and there's this one girl, 17-year-old female, that's always scheduled with me. She talks to me the most and always wants to hang out with me and do everything with me. And even wants to take her break when I do. Super weird and annoying, but I just ignore it most of the time. Last night it was me, her, and my manager closing, and 15 minutes before closing, she asked me if I can drive her home because it's late at night and she doesn't feel safe walking alone. I tried telling her multiple times that she lives a little too far and my father would lose his crap if he found out I let a girl in my car, doesn't trust me for some stupid reason, and that she could ask my manager for a ride. She goes on about how she doesn't feel safe taking a ride from my manager and that I'm the only person at my job that makes her feel safe. At that point, I kind of felt bad, but I made my final decision and went home. Today when I came into work and greeted the normal people I see every day, a couple of people asked me why I made her upset and walk home alone. I tried to tell her the best I could, but everyone just thinks I'm a jerk now, and she doesn't want to talk or even look in my direction. So Reddit, am I the jerk? It's definitely feel bad territory, but OP's not a jerk in my opinion. OP was already kind of uncomfortable with this person. It's a little far out, so takes a lot of time to drive out there and then all the way back. Definitely wouldn't want to establish this as something that maybe they start to rely upon. God forbid you do it one time and then every time they're like, it's very scary walking home alone, could I have a ride again? And again and again and again. What do you guys think? Is OP a jerk here for not giving the girl a ride home? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Our next story is by 123gone456. Am I the jerk for telling my mom I won't wear a $700 dress she bought me with most of her savings to my cousin's wedding? My mom, 61-year-old female, and me, 23-year-old female, have a good relationship. It's gotten better through the years as I've gotten older, and it's a lot better. One of the things we used to fight a lot about is the fact that she wants to mold me into a mini version of her and have me do all the things she didn't get to do. We have the exact same name, she got a gymnastics injury and couldn't compete professionally, so I had to compete professionally. She wanted to be on TV, I had to do casting since I was 6 months old, Gerber baby. She wanted to do horseback, I had to do that. It got really annoying because it was not at all what I wanted for my life. In college, it got so bad because she wanted me to study acting and I wanted to study neuroscience. I had to do a double major and graduate in 3 years for us to afford college. Anyways, moving on, my cousin's getting married today. I had a nice blue and silver dress picked out and was getting my hair done when my mom bought me this giant, poofy princess dress. It was literally a ball gown and the color was the lightest shade of pink, like a white with a pink undertone. Under big lights in a dark ballroom, it's going to look white. I can't wear something that looks like a wedding dress at my cousin's wedding. I said, no, I won't wear that. I have my dress, and it's just disrespectful to wear a bridal dress to another woman's wedding. She flipped out, told me I'm a jerk, that she spent all her savings on the dress, that I never do what's best for me, and threw me out of the house. Half my hair not done, and no makeup. I called my dad and he said I'm a brat, that I always make my mom angry and I'm an ungrateful child who never does what she's told. So, am I the jerk? If you're 23 years old and there's a dress code and you follow that dress code and you're not like a bridesmaid wearing matching dresses or whatever, you're totally fine to wear what you want. At 23 years old, your mom has no right to be forcing you to play dress up. I think OP is very clearly not the jerk, and I feel bad for them because it feels like their life is just their mom trying to play The Sims or something. Give her enough time, she might say your bladder meter's full, go hit the bathroom. Our next story is by an anonymous poster. I'm 28-year-old female. Am I the jerk for disinviting my maid of honor, also 28-year-old female, from the wedding? My friend M and I have been friends for a while. I got engaged last year, and I'm currently wedding planning. A discussion we had, joking around about past lives, basically spiraled over a few weeks. I'd also expressed more about wanting to find my half-brother, who was given away in a closed adoption. We decided to jointly explore our family histories, and it was fun. Until I found out I'm a direct descendant of Richard Mather, father to Increase and grandfather of Cotton Mather. My lineage is through Timothy and his son Samuel. For those who don't know, they were the prominent ministers and had a big hand in the Salem witch trials. In fact, Cotton is 100% a huge reason why George Burroughs got the rope. Not to mention, they owned POC. It's actually not a very pleasant history, and I wanted to forget I knew that. However, she started making a huge deal. Your family are slave owners? How can you be fine with that lineage? To which my response was, I'm not cool with it. I actually think it's horrible, and I'm glad I was separated by 10 plus generations, but I obviously didn't choose my family. She started making comments if I said I wanted something a certain way in the wedding planning, she was the maid of honor, that those Puritan genes are in there, or careful, she'll burn you at the stake. I of course pulled her aside after literally weeks of comments and said I wasn't comfortable with this. She fired back, that's what I get for condoning it. I said I absolutely in no way condoned anything my family did, literally centuries ago, but if she kept on about it, she wouldn't be part of my wedding. To which she said I was entitled, exactly like them, and I told her I was officially disinviting her from the wedding. My mom said that we should have never have done it together. She didn't know about the history, which I agree, but she says I went too far in disinviting her. My fiance says she's the jerk. Am I the jerk? I don't think so. I mean, if you go and you look up your family lineage and you find out that dark, sad truth, it sucks, but like OP said, they can't control it. They didn't have any say in it. For this person who they thought was a friend to go on and on about it, make really insensitive comments about who they are and kind of mischaracterize or insinuate them in such a light, even in jest, it's not that funny. If you're gonna keep being like that and being insufferable, then yeah, I'm not gonna let you be around me. This next story is by Pissed Offerson. Am I the jerk for banning my partner from my cooking? My partner, 29-year-old male, and I, 24-year-old female, have been together for over 2 years. And we live together. We've been snowed in for 3 days, and I didn't want to make a run to the store today, so I made a traditional Mexican dish with some chicken in the freezer and some veggies and spices we had on hand. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm generally a pretty great cook, and most people who have my food agree. So I make this dish, something my grandma used to make all the time, and I think it tastes pretty good. My partner comes over to have a taste, and I kid you not, goes, "This tastes like dirt." So I walk over and have another sip of the broth, and it really tastes fine. I'm super confused and ask what they think I should do to fix it. No suggestions. Okay, whatever. So I let it simmer a while longer. Maybe it's just raw spice they're tasting. But this is bugging me because earlier today, I made a coffee cake, which they also had nothing to say about except, "My mom makes a better one. This one's too dense." What? I mentioned how weird it is that it tastes like dirt and wonder aloud how I can fix it, and they get frustrated and lash out at me going, "I must be making it up then. It's freaking fine, I'll eat it." And then we went back and forth for a second before I tell them they shouldn't eat what I made then and to just order food, which they did, but now they're making a big stink about how I can't take criticism, and I'm wondering if maybe I'm being the jerk and a brat for not just accepting the criticism. I think OP's not the jerk. While I would maintain that everybody has different taste buds and preferences, if you cook something and you know it tastes just fine, and somebody else goes, "Oh, that tastes like dirt," that other person's probably just being really stingy, or there's something in there that they really don't like. Either way though, there's no excuse for the way they acted. I admit sometimes I'm guilty of this, but I hate the whole petty thing. I hate the whole behavior of, "Oh, it's nothing then, I must have just imagined it. It's fine, I'll eat it." Makes you just want to go, shut up. This next story is by Gui. I tried my best with that one. Am I the jerk? I didn't wait for my wife to finish eating. I and my wife have been married for 9 years. She's 32 weeks pregnant now. We also have 2 other kids, 2-year-old female and 4-year-old male. Today we were having dinner together. I was done eating within 15 minutes. I fed the kids after I was done eating. My wife takes about an hour to finish her meal every time because she's a slow eater. The kids were getting cranky after about half an hour of us all sitting at the table waiting for her to finish. The 4-year-old's not allowed electronics at the table because we don't want the kids to get into the habit of gadgets while eating. After about an hour and a half, the kids started crying, saying that they don't want to sit at the table anymore, but my wife wasn't done eating yet. I told her I'll put the kids to bed and come back. I brushed their teeth, gave them a quick shower, dressed them up in night clothes, and put them to bed. Then I cleaned up the dirty dishes from the table and washed the vessels. My wife finished her dinner as I was washing the dishes and put her plate in the sink. While she was wiping the counter and the stovetop, she told me she was hurt by me and the kids not waiting for her to finish dinner. She said that I'm teaching our kids that it's okay to disrespect their mom by not waiting for her patiently. She told me she wouldn't be eating dinner with any of us until the kids and I apologized to her. Am I the jerk? I'm sorry, but who in their right mind takes an hour and a half to eat their meal? If you cook anything warm or hot, by an hour and a half later, you might as well be eating an icy asteroid. Mom, please, it's been an hour and a half. Your steak's gone so cold you can't even cut through it anymore. Please just let us go to bed. I think it's pretty ridiculous. And OP's not the jerk. This next story is by Moxie's Thigh Tattoo. Am I the jerk for not telling my coworkers that I'm polyamorous and laughing at them? I, 32-year-old female, am in a poly relationship with Ruby, my girlfriend of 11 years, and Louie, my boyfriend of 10 years. The three of us all date each other and are closed off to dating anyone outside of our current relationship. I never mentioned this to my coworkers because I never cared to. I don't tend to talk about my life while at work. A few weeks ago, my coworker Ken, who was aware I had a boyfriend, saw me making out with Ruby at a bar and took some pictures. He apparently started telling everyone that I was cheating on Louie and showed pictures of Ruby and I. I had noticed that some people were giving me the cold shoulder, but I just figured it was something to do with my recent promotion. A few days ago, I was talking to my friend in the break room about her ex and mentioned how much I hate cheaters, which prompted Ken and a few of my other coworkers to start calling me out and telling me that I was a hypocrite. When I said that I never cheated, Ken confronted me with the pictures of Ruby and I at the bar and a picture of Louie and I on a date from last week. Ken kept asking, "So who are you dating?" while shoving his phone in my face. So I just brushed his arm aside and told him, "Both of them." That only seemed to see him and others off worse, and he started nagging me again, and I started laughing. I wasn't trying to be rude, I just actually found it funny how upset everyone was getting over my relationship that they had no idea about. He stopped talking after I laughed, and I took that time to explain my relationship and showed pictures of all three of us, including ones of Ruby and Louie kissing, and I joked about him taking pictures like a stalker. Now a bunch of coworkers are pissed that I hid my polyamory from them and are now saying that it's my fault that they now look like jerks for talking bad about me behind my back. Am I the jerk for not telling my coworkers that I'm poly and subsequently laughing in their faces? Absolutely not. Like OP even suggested, they kind of are creepy taking pictures of you like that. Even if you are cheating, seeing that and taking pictures and then showing it around the office like, "Check out what OP's doing." Like, screw that dude. And then OP can't be a jerk for not disclosing their sexuality, their relationship, whatever's going on in their personal life. They don't have to mention any of that at work. Their coworkers have no right to get upset about that. And our final story of the day is by Worldly Ad 9756. Am I the jerk for refusing to give my ex-husband's girlfriend a part of the inheritance? I, 58-year-old female, was married to a man for 16 years and we had a son. After my son was killed by a drunk driver, we couldn't support each other. We divorced 6 years ago, I moved to a different state, and we haven't spoken since then. About a month ago, I was contacted by the executor of his will and informed of his death. His latest will was written about a year ago. When I went, I was informed that he left me everything, except for $10,000 that he left to his girlfriend. They were together for 2 years and lived in the same house. Now his girlfriend is demanding that I surrender all of the inheritance to her. She says that I wasn't the one that was there for him when he was drowning in his grief, that I moved on while he was still feeling guilt over the death of our son. I've refused so far, but I still feel a bit guilty since I'm planning to sell the house. our marital house. I couldn't bear to stay in it after our son's death, so she'll have to look for housing. She can't afford to, she doesn't have a job. Also, I make a good living and own a house outright, inherited from my parents. So, am I the jerk? So, as much as it sucks for the girlfriend, OP legally inherited everything that the ex-husband explicitly left for them. And the fact that the husband updated the will only a year ago means that they were probably pretty set in their decision, considering they'd already been a year with that girlfriend. She can feel as entitled as she wants, but OP has no reason to give in and give up anything. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So of all these stories I've read today, which is your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Whatever you do, whether it's liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, all of it helps grow this channel, and I appreciate the heck out of it. So until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow with some more stories.